Not very long ago, I made a video about something that I said you should not get for your Toyota 4Runner, your 5th gen 4Runner. And I stand by that video, but I want to give you an update. Let me explain. You may have already seen the video I did about the Decida head-end unit that replaces the OEM factory stereo system for the 4Runner, 5th gen 4Runner. I mentioned before, if you have a 2020 or older 5th gen 4Runner, the radio, the head unit, the stereo, whatever you want to call it, is sorely lacking. So there's a desire by 4Runner owners to get an updated modern head-end unit, one that will support Apple CarPlay and the Android version of that as well. And there are several aftermarket options to replace your OEM radio. One of them, which came highly recommended and is very affordable, is the Decida head-end unit. So in my previous video, I installed and reviewed the Decida 10 head unit. Well, it didn't work that good. Had a lot of problems. It was buggy, didn't work right, and I won't go into all the details. You can see what I discovered and what I commented on in the video I made about that one, the Decida head-end unit number 10. I reported that to the manufacturer, and ultimately, because I could not get those things resolved, I returned it to the manufacturer. They reached out to me with a desire for me to try out an updated version, the number 12. In fact, it was featured at SEMA this year, and after SEMA was over, they shipped a head-end unit to me to install and to try out and to review. So that's what this video is about. I'm giving them a second chance. And I really appreciate that kind of customer service. They took the feedback and they looked for an opportunity to do better. And I believe that's what they did with this head-end unit. So I've had it in my vehicle for about 3 days now. I've used it for a bit. I'm going to test to see some of the things that I disliked about it before, to see if they still exist and are still present, or if they've overcome it with the update. So I'm going to give you my honest feedback, as I always will anytime I review a product, whether it is given to me or not. So let's check this thing out. So one of the major complaints I had on the last Decida device I checked out was the brightness. And so right here, it's at dusk where I live. I mean, its sun is going down, and I think the brightness is going to be okay this time. Let me show you what I've figured out here. There's two different ways to get to it, but basically you go to display, and there's a brightness level, got it all the way down. Then there's a night display, and it's turned all the way up. So it's counterintuitive to me. I originally had this all the way down, but in reality you want it all the way up so that it affects your night display. So anyway, it was kind of backwards in my mind, but that's how it works. Also, another way you can get to the brightness setting is just by clicking there, and then you've got, if I can get my finger on it, you got this brightness display here. So anyway, so far so good. I like this a lot. One of the other issues that really frustrated me was the audio, or the Apple CarPlay, disconnecting from my phone at exactly 10-minute intervals. That was crazy. It hasn't been happening. I've been listening to some audiobooks while I've been driving around.
And he could not remember a single game when his parents were watching.
It's not happening anymore. The other thing that was annoying to me was that the Wi-Fi would not stay connected. So far so good. I need to test that a little bit more, and I will do that, and I will let you know the results. So to recap, one of the things that drove me crazy with the previous unit is I could never get the Apple CarPlay to connect wirelessly, even though it was supposed to be a function of the radio, of the head unit. Couldn't get it to do that. This one works seamlessly. As soon as you're in the vehicle, automatically connects once you've set up that initial Bluetooth connection. That's fantastic. Another thing that I had serious beef with was that the head unit would disconnect from my device, from my phone, at exactly 10-minute intervals. Now keep in mind, it was not Bluetoothing to my phone. It was with a wired connection. I would lose the connection at exactly 10-minute intervals. Could not figure out why. So I was traveling on a 7-hour road trip and I was listening to an audiobook. Every 10 minutes on the dot, the phone would disconnect. Crazy. Wired. And then if I just go back to home, this is the regular Android-based features of the device. Fantastic. I have no complaints whatsoever. The only thing that I initially asked the manufacturer about that I thought could be a little different, at least for my own personal tastes, was the nighttime brightness. And they guided me through the steps to make sure that I knew how to turn the brightness down. And that worked fantastic. So overall, the things that I had problems with before with the head unit, I tested them all. Let me go through them. So very slick, very responsive, very quick. I've downloaded some of my favorite navigation apps. Avenza in particular I like to use. Forgive the reflection. Maybe I can do it off to the side here and try to help you with that. I'll do that later. Avenza. So, like here's a map I use regularly. The Osceola road map, and you see one of the other things I was really frustrated by was the Wi-Fi connection on the device. So here I'm in my home driveway and I can connect to my home Wi-Fi, which I will do now. So you navigate to this setting and you just turn the Wi-Fi on and let it do its thing. It should find my home network. There it is, Castillo de King. It is connected, and there's one little thing that is problematic, and that is Apple CarPlay and the Wi-Fi cannot be connected at the same time. So I've disconnected my Wi-Fi. This is not a fault of the radio. It makes sense that this would not be something that you could do both at the same time. All right, let me go back to home. Click settings, Wi-Fi, turn it on, let it connect to my home network. And we're good to go. So now I can navigate to, for example, I've got my Gmail account on here, so I can open my Gmail. I also can browse online. In this case, I can open up YouTube. So it's loading up right now. Here it comes. Oh yeah, what a wonderful ad. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Let's watch this one.
If you like fire cooking, don't skip over this. Okay, we have had an absolute monster of a year. I've done more Ks, I've done more videos, I've done more camps, I've done more states. Finally.
And let's see, just go back here. Oh, go back to YouTube. And let's see, this is a great channel. No lag, no issues whatsoever. The Wi-Fi remains connected. Nothing but positives. And you see, it'll even remain on down here in a smaller form while you're doing other things if you wanted to. So, bottom line, my honest feedback, my honest review of this device so far is it is fantastic. If you're looking for a replacement for your OEM head unit for your Toyota 4Runner 5th Gen, and you want Apple CarPlay, you want it to sync up with the steering wheel controls, you want it to integrate with your rear camera, you want to be able to download and use off-road navigation apps like Gaia or Avenza or others, this is the device for you. It's not very expensive. There are far more expensive options. The screen is fantastic. It's responsive. It works well. And I got to tell you, based on my interactions with the manufacturer, I think their support is great too. So if you have questions or you had issues or you needed to troubleshoot something, I'm confident that they would do everything in their power to help you out. So I'm keeping this thing, and I'm happy to have it. I still have my OEM radio in the box that this unit came in. I doubt I will ever touch it again. So I'm not going to give you an installation video. There are some installation videos out there for these head units, the different versions. They all work the same way. Decida gives you plug and play harnesses, and they're all very clearly labeled. There's even the ability to expand what you may already have. For example, I don't have a front camera, but there's inputs for that. So if I want to add a front camera, or I wanted to add some trail cameras to my setup, I could do that. So great device. My input is, even though I didn't like the last version and I had beef with it, they've come a long way. They have redeemed themselves, in my opinion, and I can give my personal recommendation on the Decida number 12. So I will put a link to how you can find them in the comments or in the description of this video. If you're looking for an option for your 4Runner, check it out.
All right, today we are going to do a sizzling pepper beef with rice. This is not what I planned to make tonight, to be completely honest. I planned to do banh mi's. And then I opened my fridge, and my pork smelled terrible because I've had it for like a week and it's been frozen. Anyway, doesn't matter. Pork wasn't good to eat. So